So today I want to talk to you about sexual pacing and why it's so important for you as a woman to be using it when you date with guys. Sex is a really big thing nowadays, okay? Like, we live in sexually liberated times and hookup culture is a thing, all right? People have sex first before they even go on a date first, all right? Which, if you're looking for a serious relationship, that is like mind-boggling to me. Now, the reason I want to talk about sexual pacing is because this is about exercising sexual discipline. And the reason I'm saying it's something you have to use, ladies, is because when it comes to sex, you guys are the gatekeepers for sex, okay? Yes, it does take two to tango, but the truth is, ladies, you decide which guys have sex and guys decide which women get relationships. So because this is your area, we need to know how to use that to the best of your advantage so you can get the relationship with the guy that you want. The biggest issue we have in dating today is lacking sexual discipline. That's why less people are in relationships, that's why less people are less fulfilled in their relationship if they have one, and that's why people feel like they're settling, all right? And as a woman, it is your responsibility to set the sexual pace. Now, what is sexual pacing, okay? It is basically a progression of sexual intimacy as you build the emotional connection with the guy that you're interested in. What usually happens is a guy and a girl, they'll go on maybe a date, maybe they share a kiss, maybe they go on a second date, but the third date, they just go straight into having sex, okay? And it's like, look, you're free to do what you want, but then you're just starting having sex regularly at that point, and then a lot of the time, that doesn't turn into a relationship. And the craziest thing is, the guy could actually really like you. Like, he could like who you are, like how you make him feel, like spending time with you, but because of how sex was handled in the dating process, the whole commitment and emotional bonding that naturally is supposed to happen with men in between meeting you and then having sex, that doesn't happen. So then he doesn't actually feel that he wants to commit to you, even though he likes you. Because we hear it all the time, women saying, okay, well, we spend time together, we have fun together, the sex is great, why doesn't he want a relationship with me? And this is the biggest factor as to whether a guy is going to be open to committing to you. Now, okay, I get it, you may be asking, why is the sexual pacing important on the woman's part, not on the man's part? Let me tell you why it's in your hands. Because the truth is, you can be having sex with a guy and still be building that emotional intimacy with him, right? But with guys, a lot of the emotional foundation comes from before having sex, because sex affects us differently. Guys don't release that, what's that bonding hormone called? Oxytocin, there you go. Guys don't release the same level of oxytocin during sex that women do. Guys release oxytocin in other areas, like when she's supportive to him, when she's a place of peace for him, when she just comforts him, right? That's where guys form the bond. And that's why it's really important that you give the space for that using sexual pacing. Now, I get it, just because you're a woman, that doesn't mean you're not a sexual being yourself, okay? You're gonna get turned on by him, you're gonna wanna have sex with him as well, you're gonna wanna do stuff, but the responsibility is in your hands if you want the emotional bond to happen. So here's the best way that I suggest you do it. On the first date, I would say refrain from kissing him, okay? And the reason I say this is because so many people nowadays are so used to doing something physical on the first date. By you not doing that, you eliminate any kind of him just lumping you in with any other girl, okay? It does make you stand out. Now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't have some physical touch with him. So you might hold his hand, you might give him a hug, even give him a kiss on the cheek is a really good way. But avoid kissing on the first date. That's the first thing. Second date, maybe you do kiss him, okay? Maybe it's a peck at the end, all right? And then maybe he feels you hold on to him a little bit more. He starts to feel your physical touch on him more, and he's gonna be reciprocating that because he's obviously attracted to you, otherwise he wouldn't be on the date with you. Third date, maybe there's more kissing, maybe it's a bit more passionate, maybe you're using tongues, maybe you're at each other's house and maybe you are kissing in that area. I would refrain going to a guy's house, you know, within the first few dates. But it's just more passionate, you're showing more passion and you start to reveal to him that you are a sexual being. Now, let's go on to you staying at his for the first time or him staying at yours. It is so important that the first time that you guys spend a night together, that you do not have sex. I repeat, that the first time you spend the night together, you do not have sex, because when you spend that night together, that is all he is going to be thinking about. He could be having a conversation with you, but all he's going to be thinking about is, am I going to be having sex with her tonight? If I am, did I bring Johnny's? Is she on contraception? Does she like contraception? How long am I going to last? Oh, did I prepare for this? All he is thinking about is having sex with you while you're even having the conversation. So it's really effective that if you don't have sex with him the first time you stay over, right, it's going to maintain that retention from him to you, and he's going to continue to invest in you more because there is sexual pacing. He's getting closer and closer and closer to the thing that he really wants, which is to share an experience with you. Now, here's the thing. You have to hold yourself accountable. I know it's easy to say, oh, but I'm a really sexual person and I can't help it if I want to have sex with him. Well, here's what I'll say. If you cannot exercise sexual discipline, then you do not deserve to have the relationship that you want. Because when we are in relationships, both parties have to exercise sexual discipline in regards to other people. So you just having a little bit in the beginning is going to be so worth the investment, and you have to hold yourself accountable to that. Now, what I will say is the first time you stay over, if you want to do something, you can do something, okay? If you want to do other stuff, do other stuff, but know where your line is, that you don't get carried away. Know that, okay, this is the line I can get up to, and at this point I have to stop it. I can't go further than this because you want to do everything, all right? It's really important you do this. And then after that, after you've been on a few days, after you started kissing him more passionately, after the first night that you spent with him and you didn't actually have sex, you may have done stuff, but you didn't have sex, that is when you can then start to have sex with him on the next time that you meet or the next time that you stay over. And the reason I say this now is because this is part of the progression, and what's gonna happen is you are gonna notice his investment for you go like that. He's gonna be texting you more, he's gonna see if you're okay more, he's gonna wanna be meeting you a lot sooner. Now here's what I will say, right? And this is a really cool little tip that's really gonna get him hooked right early on. After you spend the first night with him, and let's say you do stuff, you don't have sex, right? All he's thinking about is, okay, he wants to have that with you, right? He won't be able to get you out of his head, because if he's attracted to you, it means he was so close, yet so far, okay? This is the power that you have as a woman, all right? Now, let's say you went over to his night on the Friday night. He's gonna try and see you on the Saturday or the Sunday. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna give it at least 5 to 6 days before you see him. Let him wait. Let him build that anticipation up. And during that time that he's building the anticipation up, you're gonna see his effort for you skyrocket, okay? This is the power you have, and it's really important that you use sexual pacing on men so that you start them off on the right track to lead them straight into a committed relationship with you to show that you're worth it. If you're looking for a guy who sparks up your love life, make sure you subscribe to this wonderful tribe. And as always, keep it slick. Pow.